gentlemen, thank you again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night.
Yeah.
Sun's still out, baby.
Woo!
Summertime in the city.
Summertime.
Sun's out, guns out, Pat.
How are we looking at the levels here? It sounds like we might be a little hot. Did we even check those at all? Or
We did.
Okay.
I mean, you're
Everybody's
hitting,
at a 5?
Peter sounds very loud.
Maybe it's our vocals that are actually ourselves that are loud,
A little loud.
as opposed to the individual
Here,
levels.
I'll take a look real quick.
me and Joe are hitting
Ladies and
up the
gentlemen,
top.
thank you for
Hold
joining us.
on.
Yep. Thank you for joining
I'm
us.
pretty high.
Peter sounds like he's in my brain.
I'm
We
the
should be at
yeller.
like 5-ish. Like 5 and between 5 and 6, like the middle of that.
A nice fire.
You know what I mean?
You're the red one. You're
Yeah.
at 5. Joe's a little
Yeah.
high, and I was definitely high. I think we're better now.
I met a prostitute. She
Can we
said
turn
it would
down my
cost-
headphones?
That might be a good option too.
She said it would
I gotta
cost-
figure out which.
But you know
chords
these
yours
guys-
are.
Hey,
I'm the second one.
This is probably what we should do prior to the podcast starting. Ladies and gentlemen,
We'll let
thank
the
you
people know. Let open up the hood.
I
Jesus.
apologize. That was
Oh,
my bad.
Jesus, Pat. Why you got to ruin the whole fucking thing? Now we got to restart the
This asshole did it
entire
on purpose.
podcast.
You try to make me deaf like him.
You can't prove it.
Ladies and
can't
gentlemen,
prove
thank you
it.
again for joining us on a beautiful Saturday night pre-game podcast. I got Kristen McGraw on the ones and the twos. Joseph
Really shit at his
Keneally
job over there. Let me tell you
back
what.
from the. I don't know where he was last week, but he's back.
Guess
And we-
who's back? Yeah,
Guess
I can't
who's back?
remember in this
And
exact moment where I was.
You were just with Sarah, and then we went for pizza. It was a great
Oh,
time.
that's what it was. Yes,
we got
yes,
Pat
yes.
Lynch. Thank you again for joining us. Boy, two of the 4 here are ladyless. So the shenanigans that are going to happen this weekend.
Getting Taco Bell tonight.
Yeah.
Getting Taco Bell tonight.
Scramby's in the bed. Scramby's in the bed. Scramby's in the bed.
It's like, I'm
Scramby's-
having rice and eggies, baby.
All over
rice
the
and
apartment.
eggies everywhere.
Everywhere. Lauren literally looked at me as we're walking out the apartment today, and she said, "Hey, no food in the bed." And I was like, "Of course, never." Wow. And I was like, in my head, I'm like,
As soon as that door closed at the airport,
Peter's
Peter's like, where's
Yes,
the Scrambies
ma'am.
at, baby?
Aye, aye.
Peter's having
Captain.
7 meals in the bed this week.
I am scrambling the eggs, cooking the eggs, eating the eggs in bed.
I'm going to buy a flat top to go on top of the bed to cook the eggs in
Also,
there.
I'm pulling a Pat Lynch, and I am starfishing this shit out of my bed tonight, boys.
Hell
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's the best. It's the best.
So we have like a queen quilt for our bed. We need a king. Me and Lauren at night will go head to toe. Like we'll fight for the blanket at night. And it's not because like we don't have enough. Like we both ends of the corners. Enough room for the Holy Spirit. So you want a little bit of comfort. You're fighting, so I'm pulling her this way, and she's pulling me this way.
I apologize. You said you were going to get a king comforter because you have a queen comforter.
Yep.
You have a king size bed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Whoa.
Okay, interesting choice.
But it's just
Terrible choices.
It's a little. It's literally, if you look at it, it
also,
fits the
how
bed.
are you losing this battle?
We have
You
a...
bitch.
He's
whoa,
a
whoa,
pussy.
whoa, whoa.
Well, Chris is coming in. Chris is coming
Yeah,
in
real
a
high.
different level.
And so is
I'm
Pat.
coming from a different direction here. My argument, I agree with you. I mean, I didn't know you had a queen size or a king size bed, queen size sheets, but
No, just a comforter. But and also, if like it's just not a king. You want a little bit more extra space.
yes,
It fits the bed perfectly.
you got to get that king
No, it doesn't.
XL so there's plenty of room for activity.
Yeah.
Like, you could just
Yes.
both
I did- we did a
You
little
could
more.
have- your
sheets aren't
scrambies.
going anywhere.
You could have your scrambies and Lauren would never know about it.
exactly.
I could build a fort without her.
Yeah.
100%.
You need one of those beds so as you're like shifting around.
Yes.
And the skillets going.
You know.
That's what you need to do.
Our great grandparents who had these separate beds, they fucking knew
They
what
were
they were
onto
doing.
something.
They
Oh,
knew what
that's-
they were doing.
That's hold on. That feels like a thing that most older people do as they get older, like married couples. It honestly feels like once you get into your 60s, 70s, 80s, it's like, I love you, but go fuck yourself in that other room.
Yeah.
Because I need to sleep in peace here. You go sleep and snore and do all
Die in the
your
next room.
awful. Yeah. If you die overnight,
You die.
If you
great,
die, he dies.
Because I don't want it to disturb my slumber.
At least I
That
got
is
7 hours good
how-
sleep before he had a heart attack.
A lot of older people sleep. They separate. They
Oh, yeah.
separate. They're 20, 30, 40 years in. They're like, I paid my dues. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to sleep in my own
I've told
bed.
Lauren I don't snore every night, but if I shift onto my back, especially after because we're doing a lot of running, so my back hurts a lot. So I have to like lay like a board.
Pierre's like, I don't snore as good
I'm
as,
like
I once did.
Sarah moves a lot.
I tell her, I'm like,
2
hey,
weeks
you could
ago,
just...
she dropped an elbow on me at like 3 o'clock in the morning and woke me the fuck up out of my sleep.
Joe, you do realize
I may or may not have bled from my nose.
Joe, when we get
in the middle of the night, got that whole situation figured out, and went into bed scared.
Joe, do realize that
It's
when we
funny
get
that
into
Joe
our
thinks she was-
70s,
Joe thinks she
there's
was
going to be
sleeping
no
when she
separate
did
beds
that
for
elbow.
us.
Listen, you're not dropping elbows on me.
I'm not.
And Sarah with her head concussions situation, I'm not expecting her to make it
Ryan-
that long.
Ryan bicycles
so
getting
me
hit
and
by
you,
cars,
We're,
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
back together, baby.
Yeah.
We're back together. It's a holiday. It's a holiday weekend
holiday.
every day.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
but yeah. This sleep situation is kind of weird. I have literally somebody could be killing me. I will never wake up. I don't wake up when I go to bed at night. Nothing wakes me up. Like there's not a goddamn thing. I have scratches from patches trying to wake me up. Like
Get out.
She'll do this. She does like with her nail.
Really?
She'll be like, hey, and she'll just gently, but she'll do it over and over. So I have like those, but it doesn't wake me. I don't wake up. I go to bed. Nothing wakes me up. So I told Lauren, when you plan to kill me, if you do it in my sleep, you could go to town. You would have a party. Like you could do whatever.
Yeah, you could beat the living crap out of me.
You could have a 12-step process
Yes.
from like
you get cut toes off.
easy-
I'm
yeah.
not waking up.
She just sharpening the knife outside the bed. You're like, that's great. That's step 1. And by the time she's finally at like step 6, where there's actually
Any type of action.
breaking of the skin, whether it's by knife and coming in or whatever, she's got the whole thing. She's got plenty of time.
And my body
Will not
knows
be
that
disturbed.
Lauren is a light sleeper. She'll wake up with anything. So she'll wake up. She'll wake me up. So I sleep. When she's not there, my body's like, all right, fuck. I guess we're going to have to be the guys semi-aware. So I lay in bed. Like when she's not in bed, I'm just kind of like, I'm a much lighter sleeper. If I'm sleeping next to anybody, out cold. Don't give a shit. Nothing wakes me up.
No, not a fucking chance. Always a light sleeper.
Yeah.
But Peter can tell you, my parents' car broke down at like 12:30 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They called me. And they're like, hey, yeah, we're stuck. Can you help us? And they got a hold of AAA. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to let them sit on the side of the road by themselves. I'll go out there. And then I text Pierre. I'm like, hey, just want to let you know this. If you wake up or whatever, you don't have to come with. The parents' car broke down. I'm going out to hang out with them. Pierre wakes up at 5:30, sees all these text messages and Snapchat. He's like, oh, shit, are you okay? You want to sleep in a little bit later? He's like, I get in the car. He's like, literally didn't get him until I literally woke up at 5:30.
I used AAA for the first time last weekend.
Hot garbage. My parents.
It was great for me.
Parents'
What
car
happened,
broke down.
Joe?
Parents' car broke down at 12:30. They weren't
Out
getting
and
told.
about?
Over by literally like almost in the Austin neighborhood,
Okay.
west side of Chicago.
And there's your
Yep.
answer.
And but
Now you know.
12:30 breakdown. AAA wouldn't pick them up until
And Joe,
3 o'clock in the morning.
just for comparison, where did you break down, Joe?
My situation was I took Sarah's car on Sunday, drove it, tire was completely flat. Like to the point that windows open and you hear flop, 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 flop. I mean,
that sucks.
just dead flat.
Where was this by, though, Joe?
So I took it. I mean, her car was parked in the garage last weekend. So I took it out. I went towards the Home Depot, which is just like
Yeah, we know where it's
5 minutes away. It was good until I got there, like Lincoln Avenue or Peterson or whatever the street is over there. Then it started going flop, flop, flop. I had one of the tire fill things in my car. So the one that you gave me for Christmas, I gave it to Sarah, pulled that bad boy out, tried to fill up that tire, didn't do anything.
Oh shit.
So then I'm driving back, and it's like 6-7 blocks. Flop, 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 flop. Get back to the garage. Try to undo the nuts on the tire. Could not get it because Sarah's car doesn't have the accoutrements to like change a tire.
Okay.
It has the jack, but the handle for the jack and the tire iron for the nuts were not there.
Oh, nice.
Sounds very efficient.
I go to grab some tools. I have the right size nut for the tire, but my handle's like, nice 6 inches, something that you would use like for other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have the torque that I could get. Sarah goes, I have AAA. Guy came, was fantastic. It took a minute because Sarah has this special nut on her tire that's like one of those security nuts.
Yeah.
You have to have the special one. So we had to do some digging. But he came, did the whole thing. First time with AAA, it was fantastic. It was also in our garage. So it was like a very different situation. But I had never used AAA until then.
Yeah, they don't like the ghetto, Chris. That's the answer.
I'm using the Austin neighborhood as a Liberty because they were in Oak Park, but they were close enough to like the Austin neighborhood where like you don't want them being out there at 12:30 by themselves.
Well, that was also it. Like we were midday at this point. It was like noon by the time I got the car back into the garage. It took them 3 hours to get there. So if we're on the side of the road,
Pat,
if we're on the side of the road, this is an unpleasant situation.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like they're better on the highway though. If you break down the highway.
You think so?
When I broke down in Wisconsin, they were there in like 25 minutes.
That's awesome. Okay, so maybe it is a little different on the highway, but that's insane that it both took because it was going to take them 3 hours to get to my parents.
That's about what it took for me. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, just like what the hell? Like I get like it's at 12:30 at night. Like I shouldn't expect very much, but like 2.5 hours after they break down, what do you expect them to sit in this car at 12:30 at night for 2.5 hours? I mean, at least send something. Like send them out. Like, hey, we're gonna send somebody out. They're going to pick you up. They're going to take you home. You just leave the keys in the car. The car ain't going anywhere.
For us, it was nice because they sent a link. I mean, again, I was at home. So it's a very different situation than being roadside and stuff there, out in the middle of nowhere. But I got to sit at home. She called it in because I didn't even know she had a AAA membership, but she's got it. But they did the nice thing was they gave a GPS location. So you could see, it was almost like an Uber.
Oh yeah,
it was almost like an Uber.
My mom got that. Same thing, but like again, you could see the time. It's like 3:06. It's like what the hell?
Yeah, you're like this guy's out by like Hyde Park.
I'm not.
Slowly making his way.
I'm not hanging out.
Ladies and gentlemen, tell us in the comment. What do you guys think of AAA? Is it a yay or nay?
It's also like $100 a year. So
I was about to ask, how much is the cost?
Fair.
It's like $100 a year.
Yeah, like 100, 120.
I might get that for my car, minus the. I mean, I'm able to change a tire on my car because I have all the gubbins for it. But if you're not someone who knows how to change a tire, like if you don't know to loosen the nuts before you jack the tire up and then take it off.
God damn, Chris, how many beers are in front of you?
I have 3.
I brought out 8. I was thinking we'd do 2 each.
Yeah, okay. Honestly, I like it more, Joe, for the towing. Mine is like I get 50 miles of towing with mine.
Oh, okay. That's
I was like, forget this. Why are we waiting for AAA? Our State Farm insurance has free towing, so we called State Farm.
That's nice.
And got they came with it an hour earlier. So like I think they showed up at like 2:00.
That's what we got audited this week.
What's up?
That's what we got.
That's why you guys got audited. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck State Farm.
They're like, they have a McGraw account. Oh, we can.
Yeah, one charge. My parents have made one. This is insurance is just a scam. They made one claim like maybe 5 years ago for a roof. They had a roof issue, and State Farm wanted to cancel.
Yeah, they wanted to drop their whole entire they wanted to drop their homeowners insurance. And my dad's like, if you drop it, I'm taking away my disability, my life, fire protection, and all the cars. And they're like, and the guy who owns the insurance, it's like, called back and say, whoa, let's talk here before we do anything rash. And they're like. And like I'm pretty sure he talked to somebody's like, what the fuck are you doing? This is a pretty decent sized account.
Yeah. So I have different insurance company, but I'm entering into my 3rd year with insurance. So I'm finishing up my 2nd year now. First year got insurance, nice cheap rate, so nice. Bought a place, got insurance for the property, covered everything that I needed to cover, all that stuff. Maybe like 12, 13, 14, somewhere between like 12 and 15. Great. Enter year 2. Hey, baby, gotta get that lube going because it's now like $2,200. I call them up and I go, hey, I haven't had an insurance claim, but it jumped almost like $600 to $900.
Ooh, fuck.
Difference over the course of a year.
Oh, I know.
I haven't had anything. Can you explain this to me? Like, walk me through how you got to this number. And she goes, well, there's just a lot of roofs in your neighborhood that have been damaged. And I go, that's fair. I didn't have any damage. Can I get any sort of help there? She's like, sorry, it's a coverage for the area.
That's it. Well, it's about Florida. No joke, not to cut you off, but it's about Florida and California. A lot of our insurances have gone up because the insurance companies don't say they won't say it without saying it, but they're recouping Florida and California based on us.
They're covering costs. Like it. I mean, thankfully, knock on wood. Good job.
But that could hurt. Yeah.
Make a good cover. But it's like if I did not have the job I had, or if Sarah was out of work, or whatever the case may be. I mean, these jumps are huge.
Huge.
I can see how people have difficulties covering costs.
Yeah, and then you got
much
yes,
of
and then you
shit
got
is
the problem is you got to
going
go
up
then,
year over year.
You got to go and jump. Like this is what they tell you. Like if you're like one of those fire guys who like the financial independence, blah blah blah. You're supposed to go every year and look for new insurance. Like you're supposed to go get quotes, and then you take those quotes and you go to your guys and say, "Hey, these guys are willing to do this. Do you want me to walk away to go to them?" And
That's a great idea.
But it's such a fucking hassle.
But that's just one of many things that have been going up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like food.
Oh, food is. It's grind our gear section.
Yeah, I mean, food costs of getting new tires for Sarah's car. Unfortunately, we had to get 2.
Oh, you should have told me. I got a
situation.
guy. I wish I
didn't
know.
even think about that.
I have a guy who would have.
I mean, we got lucky. We took it to Costco. They said you need 4 tires. We said go fuck yourselves. We took it to Discount Tires. $400 for 2 tires. Not bad. It would have been like $900 for 4. So it's still cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I mean, it's just this is an unfortunate situation.
Yep.
Of an unexpected cost, and I could see how people, try and save, and put money away and get your little.
And then it's one after the other.
Something like this, several $100s, you could be fucked within seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like it's not like even with like auto insurance, they say like, I mean, not even home. Like you just shop like all types of insurance.
You're supposed to, yeah.
Yeah. Like unless you're at work and you get like employer sponsored health insurance, like you're supposed to shop insurance every year.
Single year.
I might do that. I start looking now because mine is going to renew. Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, we started off hot and we got Debbie Downer.
We got very real, very quick.
Let's talk about last. So, ladies and gentlemen, we came in here we weren't too hot on the podcast. Podcast was good.
We got really hot after the podcast.
We got hot after the podcast when we went for pizza was tremendous. Sarah's pizza the pizza she got was so good.
Oh, the veggie one
so goddamn good. Where I fucked up,
she had it
was the big lemonade.
That week. I don't know if you call that a fuck up.
I got hammered beyond hammered.
Goddamn blessing, because that was.
Oh, and then
I thought about that lemonade multiple times this week,
dude.
I won't lie,
it was so good.
I thought about it multiple times, and I just thought I want it again.
I knew.
No.
I'm not. You know what? You know how I knew I was even thinking that night. I am fucked because the beers never stopped tasting good.
No, they didn't.
We also got shots at that place for free. The guy just comes up. Guy just came up. He's like,
it's on my. Oh no, it is on the couch.
Yeah, I felt like that guy tried. I don't know if they tried sneaking it on our bill, and I'm like, what
yes,
the?
yeah.
Oh, he definitely, yeah.
And then I felt bad because Pat was like sitting there, and like I was like, oh, you guys are still finishing your drinks. I'm like, oh, I'll get me and Pat 2 more beers. And Pat's like, Pat grabs. He's like, I'm like, God damn it, Pat. So Pat had like a full one, so I got him an extra one.
And then South City Revival, tremendous. They did play us a couple of weird things, but it was a fun enough time.
I'm not gonna lie, I was shocked.
Had a great group.
I was shocked at how long
Everybody
they played
was there.
last week. Like they played from 9:30 till almost 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which was
usually
great.
they call it by like
12, 15,
12.
We-
They start,
I think they let them play a little longer there.
What's up,
I
bud?
think they let them play a little longer.
Yeah, South because they have
Yeah.
probably. You think they maybe have a little bit of a rain? Like,
I think that they know them. And
They're
but I mean, like,
they're also a
yeah.
popular band, and they want people like
you know
to
what
stay in the
sucks?
bar.
The next time they play, I'll be in Ireland. I was so sad. I'm like,
Oh, Joe,
why?
maybe me, you.
I'm like, you
Unless we go to
cocksuckers.
Ireland.
We just go Texas Taco and see them every
But
weekend.
the other issue is your boss may not allow that, but we'll have to figure that out.
I may have given notice this week.
Oh yeah.
No.
Maybe.
Well, oh really?
Yeah.
You just gonna
We'll
figure
talk
it out?
about that off the
Well,
podcast.
yeah.
We'll talk off podcast. Save that for the OnlyFans podcast.
I may have something lined up, but we'll yeah.
Oh shit!
Ooh.
Like counting or what?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With the old job or?
He's gonna go work
just-
on the highways and start plowing concrete.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working the roads, digging ditches.
You just got maybe with the old spot, or were you able to get interviewing wise?
No, I got a final interview for a place this week.
Oh wow!
Or next week. We're
good
talking.
for you, buddy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we'll do that later, but God, it just sucks, huh? Moving from place to place, but just finding the right spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, South City Revival will be playing. That's the 28th.
So maybe we'll go to Ireland.
Oh, so maybe now.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah. Now we're back in, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
that's what I'm saying. Sorry, didn't mean to take it into a weird spot. The whole reason going back.
But we're gonna be in Derry, so Derry's gonna kind of suck ass.
Well,
that's right. We'll fly to Dublin.
Come with me, Dublin Thursday, Friday. You say
me and you. We'll fly into Dublin.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
We'll rent a car. I'll be able to drive in Ireland. I have no problems with that.
Okay.
This poor guy's gonna have to take trains, planes, and automobiles.
And we'll meet him there.
We'll
have the Coors Light waiting for you when we get there. And then when you're going to a wedding, me and Joel bounce over to like London and hang out with Brian Hamilton or something.
There you go.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Don't you worry about us.
Got some cousins in Cork. We got tons of bars to go to.
Pat, we would invite you, but you can't get off work.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
All right. So last week, South City Revival, great time. Enjoy a bomber, banger.
Enjoy
that whole
on.
That whole entire like the fest that was there and the way you had to get in. That they had that big ass tub up in front with all the beer.
Yeah.
That place was. They were throwing bangers out there.
Reno even came.
Yeah, where the hell did Reno come from?
I don't know.
You could smell him a mile away.
You could.
He came in. He ended up going to Redhead Bar
by himself.
I love when Reno goes out. He goes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. Reno gets his money's worth.
Reno comes out at like 1 and he stays out till 5.
He's the epitome of the I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once.
No, Reno ended
we're
up
5 hours into the night when Reno comes out. Reno
made it to South City Revival.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure he was at Carol's.
He pops into Carol's, yeah.
Okay, I was like, he was at Carol's, right?
He was towards the end of it, but
he met us there right. We probably had a round and then we went to enjoy.
He probably got to Carol's about midnight-ish.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I was just like, wait, I remember him being at Carol's. Am I like mistaken?
I think he had one or maybe one drink at Carol's.
Because everybody talks about Peter or at Peter's after party at the Hang Up, and I don't remember him being there. And
he was there.
I vaguely remember.
I know
Peter's wedding. Yeah, Peter's wedding. I vaguely remember Mike Bossel being there, and then I vaguely remember.
How do you not remember Mike Bossel? He was dancing up a storm.
The weird thing is, like,
it's the most active I've ever seen Mike Bossel in my life.
There's a couple things that happened. Me and Joe went to the bathroom. Some guy tried to cut us in line. I'm like, the fuck, you're cutting us in line.
That guy got all up in Chris's face, and Chris.
I was not backing down, and then and then some guy had my back, and he's like, no, these guys were in line. Get the fuck out of the way.
This I won't lie.
I'll go into the two real quick. Pizza. So this week. Sorry, not to cut you off, but just this is the shit that fucking kills me too. We went to CAAMP.
Yep.
Beautiful fucking concert.
With 2 A's.
Lauren's been a little frantic. She's traveling, whatever. She didn't eat, so we got to this place. She needed to eat. So I'm standing in line with her for pizza. You gotta pay for the pizza, get tickets. Then you had to get in another line while they pass out the pizza.
That's just ridiculous.
But you go from taking your ticket, and then if you don't look, you just think, oh, they're passing up. I'll just grab it. And you don't see the fucking huge line that has to. So people, I'm like, we've waited in line for 45 minutes at this point, and I'm not great at lines.
And Peter's know CAAMP starts in 2 minutes because Pat Lynch told him that earlier.
The McGraws don't like lines. Lines for bars, lines for roller coasters.
No,
listen. They get to Jewel, they just start fucking raging.
I have patience.
Lines for checkout,
but like the
delis, you make me fucking put a number. Fucking mother.
I have some patience, but like, there's a limit to my patience, and like getting in lines.
Fair.
And like, I'm okay standing in line, but like when people try cutting or like they let their friends, it's like, no.
And then people who do not have the fucking balls to say, hey, you have to, if you're in the front of the line and you've been waiting, you have to tell the motherfucker next to you, sorry, there's a line. I'm screaming.
Go to the back, motherfucker.
I'm screaming from the, 4 people back. I'm like, yo, there's a line.
Peter's chewing up pizza. Me and Chris are having some old sauce.
Peter's at the back of the line like, hey, you can't cut like that.
No, you're being too nice. I'm pretty sure Peter's using more choice language than that.
Lauren.
Yeah.
Lauren's actually like.
You missed the beep because you said fuck.
Lauren's actually not encouraging me.
You
She's like,
fucking
she's like, I'm so happy that I married a rule follower. I'm like, this is not about rule following.
No.
It's about that person's being a cocksucker.
Yeah, fuck
Kid.
It's about being a decent human being.
That's it. Don't be that fucking person. You know there's a line. You're beat. You know you. Yeah. There's a woman. I'm my skin was crawling. She knows. Her husband, her boyfriend's trying to, and she's like, no, we'll grab it. We'll just grab it. Fuck these people.
What's awful or like what's
it's always a woman that make to do that too. Like women. I see all the time. The women like egg their significant go do it. And then you're like, hey, cocksucker, I will beat you.
And then so when we're running the bases, that. Sorry, this is we're very
this
blessed.
went on a long tangent because I got to get back to the hang up in a second.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Oh, so back after the bathroom thing with that line thing, we come out and there's fucking Poncho.
Oh yeah, Phil.
Phil, and I think
I did not see him at the hang up. I did not see him.
He was. Me and Joe walk around to the back bar. Him and like his lady friend, and I think somebody else. I can't think of who he was with, but there was another person there that was at the wedding. I think maybe Tommy Lane or something.
I did not see Tommy Lane either.
I don't know if it was Tommy Lane, but like I'm gonna assume it's Tommy Lane. I'm gonna go on a limb.
Someone from the wedding,
but it was somebody else from the wedding that we knew, and I'm like, the hell, we're all in the back, and like they're just hanging up by the front bar there. I'm like, oh god.
I think they just like by happenstance went there by themselves.
Don't remember Reno being at the hang up at all.
My boss was dancing with Storm at the hang up. That's why.
Oh yeah,
he was Reno rarefied air.
Went straight to the bar. I remember Reno coming in at the hang up. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go downstairs to the bartender, see if she's here." You know,
I just remember getting in an Uber with Pat, Katrina, Brian, and Joe, and going to the McDonald's.
Yeah, because I got there because we were in the back because we got in later than you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was my god.
Oh yeah. I know you guys were in line. We walked in with Danny.
We just hit a month, and I know we talked about this earlier.
It feels like 7.
And I would pay any amount of money to redo that night. Like if a genie was ever real, and I got 3 wishes, I'm not gonna lie to you. One wish would be to relive that night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Pat, back to your story about like the ladies egging on guys. This brings us back to we saw Tiesto at Prism, and the lady who was with her boyfriend who was egging him on to fight people and like was like pushing Brian Hamilton. And there's like a rarity. There's a couple times where you see.
I don't think I've ever been that mad in my life.
There's a couple rarities where you see like Brian get mad and then Pierre got mad. Like Brian got mad. He's like, "Why the fuck are you bumping into me?" And he's like talking shit to Brian, and Pierre's like, no, you ain't talking shit to Brian."
You know what? It was very similar to today, where it was like you're trying to be a decent human being. You're trying to turn around and go, "Hey, listen."
So we were very blessed. Chris, Pat, Joe, and I have season tickets with the Cubs, and Pat handles everything, and he's really great about it. And we have a family day at the Cubs, and the Cubs do a nice thing where they take their season ticket holders and let them play on the field. They run the bases.
They basically just open up.
They only charge us $5 for a beer.
Yeah,
they let us kick the shit.
Beers are cheaper. Hot dogs are free.
They let us slap around our favorite security guard, Pepsi.
Yeah.
You could basically that's also true. You could basically walk around the entire stadium, dugouts. Yeah. Practice rooms, all that stuff. Just get a whole free lay of the land at Wrigley.
And when the boys, the idiots here, had a beer and said, "You know what would be really fun?"
It was 2 beers at that point.
No, so only one because we didn't have the second beer until we almost left.
Okay.
Yep.
So we had one beer, and the dum-dums here said, why don't we run the bases so you can run it the fastest?
From first to third. First to third.
I'm sorry, you're right. First to third.
Yes, yeah.
And everybody's like, that sounds like a great idea. Pat said it right. Somebody's going to tear a fucking hammy.
Yeah.
But and I was talking to the lady at the first base, and she was very friendly, and we waited for the kid and her mother, and then so the bases are cleared. So
there's nobody out there.
And she's like, and I'm like, we're good? She's like, yep. And then Joe's like, go. And I'm running. I fucking run.
We're all timing it. Yes,
and the loser's going to
video.
And the loser's going to have to pay for the beer.
Exactly.
I get across. Mine was 10.5.
10.05.
Yeah. And then so I'm loading up for Joe. Joe's getting it. And this old fucking man is walking right when Joe is rounding second. I'm like, sir. Like, in my case, sir. Like, he's coming right now. Like, do you mind watching out real quick? Fucking dickhead.
Joe, you should have trucked him.
Stands on third base.
I thought about it.
And Joe's like, and I'm like, sir, you're going to get hurt. And he's like,
if you're looking at second base, they have, if you're ever looking at the mound or the field, the infield,
I was so mad.
From second to third, you have your straight line, and he's off to the side, so they have the area between the sand and the grass,
and they have the stupid rope around it.
That's what I was going to say. They have that rope, so he's off by the grass. I don't even recognize that he's still
just
on
walking
the
around.
bases, rounding second, start coming in, and I can see Peter talking to someone, but
Joe's
I don't
hustling.
really
Joe's hustling here.
make the connection. Yeah, I'm just sprinting. This is all under 10 or within 10
Within
seconds.
the 10-second time frame.
And or 10, 11
As
seconds.
we're booking
As
it.
the slowest guy.
We're booking it.
As the slowest guy to round the bases.
You're at least trying for it.
But it's still 11 seconds.
There's a lot of momentum coming in one direction.
And this guy just comes in and he's like right on the base, and I have to start.
Yeah,
I don't have cleats on. I'm just wearing my Nike Air Force Ones. No traction.
Oh, your Citadel Nike Air Force Ones.
What's up, girl?
Yeah,
What's up, girl?
When I hit
Check out that money, baby.
I hit the bag and I went down the ramp for half the ramp.
And he was mouthing off to me and Joe, and Joe came in.
Peter was very nice. He's like, "Hey, I have a friend rounding the base right here." This guy is by the way, just to give context, 4 or 5 people in front of us. And they are all off. We think this guy's off.
Yeah. And Joe's like, "Hey, why don't you stand over there when I'm playing catch, bitch?"
To run, and he just moseys.
And then he stands on third base. I'm like, buddy, you got to move. He's coming in. He's like, why? Why would I have to do that? I'm like, because he's going to hit you. He's like, don't hit me. And he's like, Joe's like, no, I'm going to hit you. I'm trying to fuck. And dude, it ruined the whole thing. Like, we were having such a good time. And it ruined me because he was just being a dick.
He was such a disrespectful asshole where he's like, your friend's going to see me. He's not going to, he's going to stop. And I do stop. I come to a stop. I hit third base. I stop at third base. And and from that point on, it's just you walk off the field from there. They don't have you going back to home.
No, yeah.
And I could hear this guy, Peter's like, why would you do that? Like, he's trying to do this. And the guy's like, well, he's not going to hit me. And I said, I'm not trying to hit you.
Yeah.
That's when I came in, sprinting in.
Yep.
I go, I'm not trying to hit you, but I think that was really messed up that you just came in front of me. And he's like, well, you saw me. And it's like,
no, you should have been standing there. You should have been standing there.
I didn't. You came off the grass. You came back onto the base. Like, it doesn't make sense that
you're doing it. He was just being a fucking asshole.
It's the equivalent of you're on the tracks and the train's coming through.
Yeah, but he would have died.
He would have trucked. Joe would have killed him.
No, because he was an older man.
Yeah, Joe would have murdered that guy.
This guy's probably in his 60s, yeah.
Joe, he would have been.
And he was talking shit.
Hands behind the back.
Yep. Yes.
Just like
standing on third base for no reason.
I would have ran his ass off.
I'm not sure I could have slowed down in time.
So short story short, I won the race.
Yes.
So this happened to I got to learn to calm down a little bit more because I did get mouthy and I shouldn't have.
I got mouthy.
I got mad when I was throwing at Chris and literally 8 people literally went a circle around him.
I know.
I'm like, oh, am I gonna throw this ball? And
you should go look at your Snapchat. The one that Peter sent out where we're playing catch and people just walk in the middle of us playing catch. It's like,
what? This guy, there's an oblivious. But this guy also walked by when we were throwing the
Chris
ball,
on Thursday.
Like, hit him.
I know.
Hey, just throw one straight catch. I won't catch it.
Pierre's going to tell you about the story where we tried the 16-year-old.
On Thursday when we're going down the camp, we left a little early. So we're stopping to pick up Jersey Mike's.
Camp is at the Salt Shed.
Yeah, Salt Shed.
Just to give reference.
Yeah, sorry again. We're leaving early, and we're leaving this parking lot, and the parking lot by. We're on our way out, and there's a scooter going this way. I didn't see him at all. I didn't see him at all, but I don't have a stop sign. The 2 sides on this way have a stop sign.
So we're in between this thing, and it's there's 2 stop signs.
And I could take my right. I can go as quick and can do whatever I want. So, but I did see him for a second. I didn't know if he was going to stop, so I started to slow up. But he stopped. So I'm like, okay, good, because I don't have.
Yeah, he stopped and jumped off his scooter.
Yeah, and he's like, I knew you were going to fucking stop. I knew you were going to stop. And so then I said, I stop and I look at him. And he's an acting tough 16-year-old. And I'm like, fuck you. You have a stop sign. I don't. He's talking. So then I stop.
Oh, he's chirping. Yeah,
he's chirping. So I stop it and I'm like, what the fuck did you say? And he stops because now he's scared. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you don't have any balls anymore?
Oh yeah, Pierre's like,
I'm like, you fucking pussy. You had a stop sign. And then he looked and he's like, oh fuck. But that motherfucker talking mad shit he wouldn't get anywhere near us. He wouldn't move unless we moved. And I'm like, oh, now you don't have the fucking fortitude to talk shit. I was this close to parking the car and getting out and be like, you know what? This is what you need to learn a lesson. Like, I need to come out here, scare the fucking piss out of you because you need to learn a lesson. And I think he saw how big me and Chris were. And he's like, okay, oh shit, my bad. I shouldn't have been mouthing off. But he needed that lesson. Yeah. The world needs these lessons.
People, I think about this. Like, my dad, he's a guy who came from Ireland, lived, grew up born in the 50s. Lived in London for a couple of years, came to the U.S. and just a different era where you could just
hey Chris, on your way back, can you grab my cell phone?
You get into an argument with a guy, and you just have a fight. You fight it out, and there's a level of respect there where you get knocked out or you get beat up, and you're the loser, and that is what it is. Because at that point, the two of you walk away. And you've experienced something. Yeah. There's almost like a camaraderie
respect.
Fight. Yeah.
I've seen so many fights afterwards. It's a handshake and you walk away.
Yeah, and it's just not a thing much anymore. I mean,
no.
I'm not even trying to
say that we had that. You can't even try to get into a fight anymore. You truly cannot even fight anymore because it's too often that there's a knife, a gun, or something.
Yeah.
And I'm not acting like a fucking badass. All I'm saying is that kid mouthed it off. And
we need to bring back fights. We need to bring back fights without going to jail because
as soon as he realized that, he's probably mouthed off a million times and no one's ever said shit.
There's a lack of confrontation nowadays.
Yes. Like, you want to say something, we can have a conversation.
And get some real fucking Karens out there. I'm not even talking about women. I mean, just people in general. To describe an individual as a mouthy asshole that just pushes the limits.
Yep.
And you're like, man, if I could just slap the shit out of this person and bring him back to ground zero.
That old man today. He needed to be fucking handled for a hot second.
He later came in between us as we were throwing balls. He literally came in between us as we were throwing balls, just moseyed on through.
Because there's no consequences.
It's called catch, Joe.
That's a fair play.
Throwing ball sounds a little weird.
Sorry. As we were playing catch, two people on one side, two people on the other. We were playing catch out in the field, over somewhere between like first and second base in the outfield, as most people are doing in Wrigley. And he just walks on through again with his hands behind his back and that stupid fucking W pull string backpack that I remember almost running into as I rounded second to third. Just came right in between. Again, no disregarding anything anyone else is doing. Just came in.
Yep.
Came in between. We're like, okay, we'll stop throwing. Wait for this guy to pass through. Realize
it was a piece of shit.
It's the same guy. And it's like, no, he's just a fucking asshole.
He's a
disrespectful asshole who is not paying attention to anything going on around him.
Nope.
And he's selfish about it. And he's just doing whatever he wants. And he's all chalking it up to, I'm just an old man.
No one's gonna say shit.
And it's like no. You don't get to just like walk out into the middle of an intersection and be upset when there's an accident because things are happening. It's like that's not how the fucking world works. I mean,
hey Pat, what's on that cell phone? What are you looking at?
The train.
What are you looking for, Pat?
I had to make a credit card payment I forgot to pay.
You got to make a what?
Credit card payment that I forgot to pay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right, let's get into last week's news to start the week off.
38 minutes of ranting and raving.
That's what it's fucking deserved.
It was a great time.
I mean, I'm sorry, 39 minutes.
It was a great time.
The All-American Rejects have been doing house parties.
Doing shows.
Yeah, they nailed one here in Chicago we missed. I couldn't believe that.
You know why they're doing that?
That was like a few blocks. That was basically between you and me where that happened.
It's a protest against Ticketmaster.
Yep. And they actually were at a frat house last week.
They've been going around.
And the cops shut them down.
Yeah, they got nailed at USC.
Cop shut him down. Cop shut him down. But the cop was a fan.
The cop's like, hey. And the guy came over. He's like, hey, you can do one more.
You can do one more. Yeah.
And the cops were super happy because they got to listen.
Yo.
And the dudes were like, you guys are fucking shit. And it was all because it's CAAMP. And they're all like, pound, pound, pound. Blasted out one last one. Everybody left. There was no issues.
Was that I Hope You Give You Hell?
I didn't hear the extra song. They did one last song. Everybody was fucking happy. Everyone went home easily.
They've been doing it all over.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had shows in bowling alleys. They did a show in a bowling alley. And they got shut down.
Yes, because it was too. The bowling alley was like scary, too packed.
Yeah.
So they did it outside.
They go outside, and then they get more of the people that were waiting in line. Hopefully, they did a second show. I mean, they're
like fuck, and that's what CAAMP
living the dream.
What's funny is that they're opening for the Jonas Brothers also, so they're like doing. They're doing this in between their like massive stadium tours that they're on.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're like crushing it, out in big shows.
But they're doing that's what they're trying to do shows. Because here, so CAAMP is an amazing band, and and we went and saw them. They played 2 nights in Chicago, and Chris, we've talked about this. Chris, I, and Pat tried to get tickets for Friday. Chris was for Friday. Chris was 100. Thanks, Pat. Chris was 112th. In line.
Yeah,
so that means they only sold. They couldn't have. The most they could have sold was 500 for Fridays, and this place is 3,000 deep. At least 3,000 deep.
It's probably 4 or 5.
And
outside is probably like 4 or 5.
And so they only sold to the general public less than 500 tickets. And this is what American Rejects are saying. It's like they give all these tickets away to people, and so. Like, you don't get to see your real fans. Like, so I'm Thursday. I'm not. This is an old man take. I had a really good time, but we were so far back that like, if people didn't know the song, if they weren't like camp, like if they weren't deep into camps,
we could have got farther. We were there early enough.
No, it's fair.
No, but I understand Pierre's argument. It's like it's with me like Cubs games. Like I'm trying to watch the game. Like people are just having conversations. Like I'm enjoying the game. I like it baseball. I'm enjoying the game. Pierre's like at this concert, he's enjoying this, and everybody around him is just having conversations. Like they're just here for like the experience. Like it's like something to say.
They're here to say, I went and saw CAAMP.
You're there to be there.
Yeah, you're there to be there.
You're not there to like. Listen, it's your money. You spend it how you want. You do what you want. And resale tickets were going for $200.
Oh, could have sold Lauren's ticket.
But in my
we could have sold all of them and had a nice little profit.
My fucking head, it's like the music's so good. If you just shut the fuck up and listen, you're going to enjoy this. Instead, people like would rather fucking talk over them and just shoot the shit than actually enjoy the music. Again, that's their prerogative. It's just it was a really sticking point for me.
Pierre was getting hot about it.
I was.
He was.
Yeah. Okay.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Well, let's do some feel good stories here. But not feel good stories just yet. But I have one that's a part of the
5 to 5.
There was a premature baby. I think she was a month premature. She unfortunately, so she's in the incubator type of shenanigans. She got a skin infection.
Oh no!
But everything that they would do for us, they couldn't do because the baby was premature. So the doctor, who is an amazing doctor, did some research. Guess how they cured the skin infection she had? Not to be a dick, but I'm sure you'll never guess how they did this. But if you want to give it a little bit of a guess, like think about like weird like.
I was gonna say like something like olive oil,
oatmeal bath.
They did honey, like medical grade honey, and cod fish skin.
So what is the? Do you know? You may have not read the article. What is honey, like medical grade honey?
I think it's just sterilized. It's probably boiled.
Okay. I was wondering.
And nobody touches it. Like,
okay.
Because as soon as somebody you just your hands, I'll have.
It's one of the male bees.
I was just kidding. I mean, like, it's an interesting thing.
No, I get what you're saying. I think they probably brought, but so it was honey, and then they put cod fish skin on
I'm imagining you rubbed like the honey on her and the cod skin on.
She's 3 years old now. Not a scar, nothing. No one have ever known.
Wow, that's amazing.
They waited because you like. And now they're plastering it all over the place because they want people.
Now they want people.
Because people like just in case, like they're not trying to get anything out of it. They're just giving people options. If
that's like, what is it? I read something like it was like the guy who invented the. I don't know if it was the vaccine for polio.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
he
gave it for free.
Nothing. He wanted people to get better. He could have been worth like
gazillions,
$8 billion.
Said nothing. He didn't want $1 for it.
Now
people are like, I don't want that vaccine.
No.
Too soon, Dad. Too soon.
The other thing is, like,
but you're right.
Let's listen to it. It's like Yeah, why can't medicine be like that? Like, hey, like I don't need to make a fortune off this.
Yep. Well, that's maybe the government should maybe step in a little bit on that. But that's okay. That's another.
Donnie's a little busy, right?
Yeah. Donnie's got his own issues.
He's trying to suppress the Epstein list still.
No, but what they did, but that's like. We've come so far with modern medicine, but there are still some things that like
we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back. Don't worry, we're going back.
That still work. Like cod skin is for generations has been used as a healing product on burns, on cuts. Yeah.
Tuberculosis is making coming back, man.
Nice.
Ask Frank Pill about it.
Frank Pill ain't gonna make the Oregon Trail anymore.
You can't do it.
Oh, I mean, we already kind of dived in Musk and Trump. Do you even want to get into that? Like, it's just so fucking stupid.
That's great. I loved it.
I'm not gonna lie. That day was tremendous. The text messages all over the place.
Oh, it was great.
I loved how he's like, he would never get elected without me, and he's like, I was killing it without you. Like, no, you weren't.
His money. Musk turning on Trump is 2026. The Republicans know now. No, they don't have to agree with Trump anymore because they don't have Musk's money against them. So Trump's gonna have a much fucking harder time now.
AOC, somebody asked AOC what she thought of the Trump. Sorry, Pat, your fucking foot keeps hitting this cord. Stop crossing.
Maybe your cord keeps hitting my foot.
Maybe hey, we got a lot of room.
Fight.
Sorry, if that was your face. I didn't mean to pull that on your ear.
Everybody.
AOC had a great line where she goes, "The girls are fighting," and somebody goes, "Oh, can you make a comment on the Elon Musk and Donald Trump feud?" And she goes, "We all saw this coming. The girls are fighting." And it was just such a good line. You're like, "Yep." It was just a matter of time.
Isn't she like supposed to be like the wokest of woke? You can't be like the girls are fighting.
She's not fucking wrong.
She's not wrong.
Say what you want about
that
woke.
Motherfucker. Come on.
He is not
wrong.
That's
tremendous.
Listen, I don't like necessarily like her, but that's a pretty good line.
That's a good line.
It was a solid.
I think I told Peter like something's like a 12 girl fight on Twitter here.
It is.
Oh yes, Pat said it. Yeah, you did.
I mean, Elon Trump came in and goes, "There's a reason the Epstein documents have not been released. It's because Donald Trump is all over it."
Have a great day.
Did he also call it a truth bomb before? He's like truth bomb or something.
Yeah, but the best, some of the better memes too. At the end, the next day was like. When you wake up from it's like somebody waking up from like that, like the drunken haze, like, oh, did I fuck up last night? What did I do? We've all been there on a Sunday, and you wake up and you're like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I woke up last Sunday. I woke up in the separate bed, and I woke up and I'm like,
because we're in bad shit. We're in bad shit from
what did I do?
I look around like,
what did I do last night?
I did.
Wait, when you went home with Lauren, did Lauren make you go to the other bed?
Nope, I chose it on my own.
Like an adult.
Like an adult.
He didn't remember
He's
that.
like, I want my own Scrabbies.
He didn't remember that moment when he woke up, but it took him. There was like a sheer 60 to 120 seconds of panic going, oh God, what happened last night? Hold on, let me think. All right, we went to, and then we went to, and then
I was like, I want to go to this bed.
Together. Oh wait, I went home with Lauren. I'm golden pony boy.
We both left together. What the fuck happened?
Oh yeah,
shit. Hold on.
Did I make scrambles?
Looking for a plate.
Oh, okay.
I'm good.
I just decided on my own at 3 hours into the sleep. I woke up. I went to the bathroom, and then I came over here just for more room. All right, cool.
I was too hot in that room. I had to open the window.
So then I go over to the other room, and she looked at me, and she's like, maybe
we need to talk.
Maybe you don't need to get that drunk anymore.
I don't know.
Maybe you need to mind your own business.
Maybe you close the door.
Sarah has said that to me, and I'm like, my initial response, just out of reflex, is like, you shut the fuck up.
1,000%.
That's 100% my response. It's like, oh, okay, well then just fucking kill me now, you asshole. And then I'm like, okay, all right, take a breath.
Yeah, you do. And then you gotta think, ingest it.
Maybe I could do less, but I don't go that hard.
You know what I said to her
every week?
I was like. But here's the thing, and I calmly, I specifically remember this. I got in bed. It's like 7:00.
You remember Easter?
I should have fucking pulled that one up. I opened the cover. I go in it, and she looks at me. and She's like, maybe you were really drunk last night. Maybe you don't need to get that drunk. And I look at her. I deadpan over to her. I'm like, hey, Lauren,
I'm going for a run.
Lauren, I will outrun you right now. I will go to work. I could do anything all day today. You will not see it. You will not hear a complaint from me. I will not complain about being hungover, sick, or nothing. And I looked at her and literally penned her for a second, turned over, pulled the cover over me, went to bed. Because you cannot, if
you can't say that.
Like if I'm gonna, 100%. Because you're not.
Sarah will say similar things to me occasionally, and I'm like, bitch, I've seen our Amazon receipts. All right, this is still significantly less.
Oh, I know, Joe. Oh,
weeks of Amazon purchases. Weeks. You can't compare a single week of Amazon purchases to my one night out drinking. God damn it.
Damn
I'm
it,
just
Bobby.
a man who wants to go out and have a little fun one night a week.
This is why guys don't get married. Like, why do I have to justify anything I do? I work so many hours. I work really hard. I want one night.
Listen, if there's one positive coming out of Trump's America, and I hate to even admit it, it's the guys coming out going,
we're back, baby.
And I don't mean like guys like us. I mean like doctors, psychologists, people who actually study the human on a psychological level. Guys need to go out with guys.
Yep. Guys just need to be big dumb animals. John Jacob said it like 8 years ago. He's like, we just need to be big dumb animals once in a while.
This is going to sound
That's what we see John Jacob twice a year. He said,
that's what he can relate to. It
sounds stupid, but we, like, men used to go, like, and women did too. I'm not saying it was just men. Only men, because they've actually seen that.
A couple thousand years ago, they called it a hunting party.
Yes, no, and women did come, but like, it doesn't mean like it was only men. But
they went to nag you guys for drinking too much.
Guys would go out and hunt together.
You're not killing the woolly mammoth, right? You could have thrown that spear better.
John killed the bigger woolly mammoth, just for the record.
What?
John killed the bigger woolly mammoth.
Oh, Jesus. Pat, you're going to die.
Which John?
Yeah, what were you talking about?
Leave it unnamed, Pat. Leave it unnamed, just so that the girl doesn't come and kill you. I'm saving you right now. Don't say anything more.
All right, let's get into some feel good stars. Feel good, Chris. Ready? Feel good,
yeah.
All right, we gotta do that again. Feel good, yeah. All right, that's good. Next week we just do it on.
Yeah, we do it on spot. You do it on spot, Joe.
You know what I really? I keep thinking about. No, I gotta read these because I listened to last week's podcast and I
get a bunch of questions you have no idea.
No, I just read the headline. Also, I'm not the best reader. I sound like a fucking idiot. But then it's like it's just too quick. Bad.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
You know what? That's what I'm gonna timestamp this and send it to Lauren.
You're right around like 52 minutes.
Lauren, can you go to 52 minutes on that comment? Thanks. All right. Ingredient in yogurt can slow disease and reefs, as corals have microbiomes that benefit from probiotics.
Wow. All right.
That's a lot of words.
He nailed all of them.
Pat's like,
great job.
Look at you got Joe.
I'm pulling it up. I was trying to see because I've heard a couple feel goods, and I'm like, I'm trying to see if I can find any that I've heard about that I could add a little more to.
I've heard really good things about probiotics. Sorry, I'm an idiot right now. I'm a little tipsy. Sue me. Sorry. I've actually heard a lot of really good things about probiotics recently. Like we should be thinking about yogurt. It doesn't actually have to be the pill. It's probably better if you eat it through yogurt and stuff.
Yeah.
Or the kombucha.
100%. Yes.
Or good too.
Kimchi.
Get some cabbage.
They say those three things actually, like for individuals who come out of cancer treatments for radiation, kills a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
They recommend yogurt. They recommend kombucha. They recommend, those probiotic heavy foods.
Yeah.
It takes about a year, but that really gets the gut biome back to a healthy place, especially
that's huge
for those dealing with cancer and radiation treatments, because it just kills everything. And
isn't it like the risk? The offset is that it does have usually a lot of salt in those items.
If you have high blood pressure, Pat, you're right. You just gotta be careful.
Peter can't eat a lot of like the kimchi. Sauerkraut's another one.
Kimchi's
they're high in sodium.
And then I sadly get migraines.
Yeah. But there's a lot of options with yogurt. And yogurt's one of the top ones that they recommend.
I think we've heard a lot of this stuff, and I feel like people are trying to do this. Why don't we do this mass scale at any point? Scientists in Japan developed non-toxic plastic that dissolves in seawater within hours. That's
costs too much.
Let's go.
It's a cost thing. It's a cost thing for sure.
Because they want to make the money, dude.
It's a cost thing for sure.
They're not the penicillin.
Do you know how much oil, how much oil and production, all that stuff is going in
Here we go.
Production?
This makes me kind of happy. First time an invasive python is killed by Florida bobcat.
Oh yeah, it ate its head. I saw this. Let them know, baby. Ate the head of the python. That Florida wildlife has had enough of this bullshit. Let you get that. You get those.
Sign of nature fighting back against.
Exactly. Let them know, baby. I love it. I love watching the python cowboy go out there and try to take out those invasive species. You let them know.
This actually warms my heart a little bit. 2 years of exercise reversed 20 years of aging in the heart. Says longest ever randomized trial on exercise.
There was something I read. I think it's if you run 5 times a week, I think it's either 4 or 5 times a week, you can reverse your cells. Like you can significantly reduce the age of your cells.
Is that why we look so young?
It may be.
That's crazy.
That's why Pat looks like shit.
Oh, you beat me to it, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You beat me to it.
All right.
I'm talking about you, Pat.
Did Pat really run under 10 seconds on those 3 bases?
12.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Pat or Joe. Pat, I'm sorry.
Beard didn't even time him.
I was so fucking pissed at that old man.
Dude,
Pat's like going like this, and I'm like, fucking I'm so mad.
I could see you like talking to that guy briefly as I came up, and then I heard him. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this is the feel-good story.
We're not
going to talk about that anymore. I'm not going to talk about how
this is insane. This is so nice.
Baseball
One man in southwest India taught 10,000 people to swim for free in a river to end drownings.
Wow, that's kind of nice.
That dude. What a hero.
Okay.
Surprising the number of people who don't actually know how to swim.
Isn't that crazy?
Like,
you know, it's nice to see like a lot of our friends, they post on Instagram that they're teaching their kids to swim. Like that's a huge first thing.
Yeah. I didn't realize, like, I think, do you guys know, does everyone here know how to swim?
Yeah, me and Pierre took a bunch of
Chris,
I'm not saying Olympic. I'm not saying Olympic.
Oh no,
swimmers,
we swam from like 3 years old.
The ability to swim in the water,
like 3 or 4 years old. Yeah,
my parents had a pool. Like we grew up having a pool. My dad literally
kneel in and get
one of my first like. All right, this is gonna sound like this is gonna sound bad.
First moments of panic that I can remember is my dad chucking me.
I remember the dad and then like him holding you under the water.
Yes,
and it's like
fucking around with you.
What the hell are you doing?
You guys cost too much. It's too many of you.
Wait, what?
He's like, he costs too much. It's too many of you. He's swimming in the water.
Jesus Christ, Pat.
Do you guys remember your 5th sibling?
Yeah,
your parents do, but you guys don't.
Smoking rates fall to the lowest ever, led by our young people in a changing culture. But that's smoking. You know that, but that's not a very because I feel like vaping because people are addicted to nicotine. Which nicotine is not a terrible thing. Smoking is terrible. Nicotine is not terrible.
It's also a thing like a lot of these articles are biased towards America, and a lot of times it's America's a huge country, so of course it's going to like overstep a lot of smaller countries in terms of people and percentage, but Europe still heavily smoking.
Oh, I know.
Like a lot of kids still heavily smoking.
I mean, there was a couple years ago when we were
out. Are there cigarettes different? Sorry, not to cut you off, Chris. Are there, because our cigarettes, the reason people don't smoke here anymore is because, like, if you have a natural cigarette, that's fine. Like, the cancer rates for people, like the Indians, for smoking, like, natural tobacco, not a thing.
No, they had a bunch of chemicals to it.
Once you start doing Philip Morris stuff, so they could fucking make you smoke 30 packets a day.
To be addicted to shit to it. Yeah, there was about like 2 or 3 years ago. Like we were out like after a Cubs game, and Mike asked me if I had a cigarette, and Mike. And like because like
Mike Basso,
because remember he'd been in like France and like it's a big thing in Europe to like smoke, and like he had been to like Paris a bunch of times. And he's just
Sarah, when she lived in Italy, same thing. Smoked a lot of cigarettes. It was I think she said it was the only time she smoked cigarettes, but it was just like
he'd been like to Paris a bunch of times, and like he literally we're out. I think it was like me, you, Lauren, Pat, Katrina, Mike, me, and I think the girl that I was dating, Kate, and like he's like, Chris, you got a cigarette? I'm like,
that's nice that you made up that you were dating a lady at the time. That's cute.
Thank you. Thank you.
She was a real person.
I don't know who's a big dick, Pat or Joe today.
And on that note,
I wouldn't go that way.
And on that note, I'm leaving the podcast. Bye.
Damn.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Even I wouldn't
do us a favor. Hit that like, subscribe.
Is that what you call me? Is that what you call me?
Cold-blooded.
When I'm in stories.
And
oh dear Barbara.
will always love Chris. Get us out of here, Chris.
Chris McGowan, I'm going to cut you up.
Fuck you, Joe Pie.
Cold-blooded motherfucker.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry.